An Arctic giant awakens, Greenland's geopolitical rise. Greenland, the world's largest island, is often depicted as a vast, icy expanse on maps. However, beneath its frozen exterior lies a land of growing geopolitical importance. As climate change melts its glaciers, Greenland's strategic location and abundant natural resources are attracting increasing attention from global powers. On March 11, 2025, Greenland held parliamentary elections, a seemingly routine event imbued with extraordinary significance. The election results will not only determine the island's domestic course, but also send ripples across the international community. At the heart of this election lies a fundamental question. Will Greenland remain under Danish rule, pursue full independence, or become entangled in the geopolitical ambitions of other nations? The thawing Arctic landscape has opened up new shipping routes, making Greenland a potential hub for trade and transportation. Moreover, the melting ice caps are revealing vast reserves of natural resources, including rare earth minerals crucial for modern technologies. This newfound accessibility has placed Greenland at the center of a global power play, with nations vying for influence and access to its strategic assets. The outcome of Greenland's election will have far-reaching implications for the future of the Arctic and beyond. As the world watches, Greenland stands on the cusp of a new era, one where its choices will shape the geopolitical landscape for generations to come. The American shadow trumps Greenland gambit and its repercussions. The 2025 Greenland elections unfolded under the long shadow of renewed US interest, particularly following the return of Donald Trump to the presidency. Trump's previous attempts to purchase Greenland in 2019, dismissed as outlandish at the time, have cast a pall over US-Greenland relations. His statements, including a desire to acquire the island one way or another, have been met with a mixture of amusement and apprehension by Greenlanders. Trump's interest in Greenland stems from a combination of factors. Strategically, Greenland's location between North America and Europe makes it a valuable asset in the Arctic, particularly as Russia increases its military presence in the region. Furthermore, Greenland's vast mineral wealth, including rare earth elements crucial for technological advancement, has piqued the interest of the US, which seeks to reduce its reliance on China for these resources. While Trump has touted the economic benefits of a potential US acquisition, offering billions of dollars in investment, his words have rung hollow for many Greenlanders. The specter of becoming a bargaining chip in a geopolitical chess game has fueled resentment and distrust towards the US. The perception that Trump views Greenland as a piece of real estate rather than a nation of people with their own distinct culture and history has only deepened this sentiment. Trump's actions have had a profound impact on Greenland's political landscape, intensifying the debate over independence and pushing some towards a more isolationist stance. The 2025 elections became a referendum not only on Greenland's future relationship with Denmark, but also on its susceptibility to foreign influence, particularly from the US. A resolute no, Greenland's rejection of US acquisition. The US's overtures towards acquiring Greenland have been met with a resounding and unambiguous rejection from both the Greenlandic people and their political leaders. Public opinion polls consistently show overwhelming opposition to becoming a part of the United States, with a strong majority viewing Trump's interest as a threat to their autonomy and cultural identity. Greenlandic politicians across the political spectrum have been united in their condemnation of Trump's proposals. Prime Minister Mute Ejeda, a vocal critic of US interference, has accused Trump of disrespecting Greenlanders and treating their homeland like a commodity to be bought and sold. Other political leaders have echoed these sentiments, emphasizing Greenland's right to self-determination and rejecting any attempt to undermine their sovereignty. In a clear demonstration of their resolve to resist foreign influence, Greenland's parliament passed a law banning foreign contributions to political parties. This move, widely seen as a direct response to US meddling, aims to safeguard Greenland's democratic processes and prevent external actors from swaying election outcomes. The Greenlandic people's rejection of US acquisition is rooted in a deep sense of national pride and a desire to chart their own course. While they recognize the potential economic benefits of closer ties with the US, they are unwilling to compromise their independence or become subservient to a foreign power. The quest for self-determination, Greenland's independence movement. The issue of independence has been a central theme in Greenlandic politics for decades, and the 2025 elections were no exception. While all major political parties support eventual independence from Denmark, they differ in their approaches and timelines. The election results reflect the nuances of this debate, with voters weighing the potential benefits and challenges of full self-determination. The pro-independence Naleraq party, known for its strong stance on cultural preservation and Inuit identity, has gained significant traction in recent years, particularly among younger generations. Naleraq advocates for a swift secession from Denmark, arguing that Greenland is ready to stand on its own 2 feet. They propose negotiating a defense agreement with the US, ensuring security without becoming a US territory. In contrast, the Inuit Ataqatigiit party, led by Prime Minister Ejedi, favors a more gradual transition to independence. IA prioritizes economic development and strengthening Greenland's institutions before severing ties with Denmark. They argue that rushing the process could jeopardize Greenland's economic stability and leave it vulnerable to external pressures. The Siumut party, once a dominant force in Greenlandic politics, has taken a more cautious approach to independence. After facing criticism for backtracking on calls for an independence referendum, Siumut has emphasized the need for careful planning and economic self-sufficiency. They maintain that independence should be achieved through negotiation and consensus, ensuring a smooth transition and a secure future for Greenland. Section 5, Denmark's delicate balancing act, navigating Greenland's future. Denmark, which has held sovereignty over Greenland for centuries, faces a delicate balancing act as it navigates the island's growing desire for independence. While the Danish government respects Greenland's right to self-determination, it also recognizes the historical ties and economic interdependence between the 2 nations. Denmark plays a significant role in Greenland's economy, providing substantial annual subsidies that support essential services and infrastructure. This financial assistance has been crucial for Greenland's development, but it also underscores the challenges of achieving full economic independence. The Danish government has stated unequivocally that Greenland is not for sale and that the decision on independence rests solely with the Greenlandic people. However, Denmark also recognizes the strategic importance of Greenland and its desire to maintain close ties, particularly in defense and foreign policy matters. The relationship between Denmark and Greenland is evolving rapidly, marked by both cooperation and tension. As Greenland asserts its autonomy, Denmark must adapt to its changing role, transitioning from a colonial power to a respectful partner. The success of this transformation will depend on open dialogue, mutual understanding, and a shared commitment to finding a solution that benefits both nations. Section 6, Buried Treasure, Greenland's Untapped Resources and Global Significance. Beneath Greenland's ice and permafrost lies a treasure trove of natural resources, holding immense potential to reshape the global balance of power. As climate change makes these resources more accessible, Greenland finds itself at the center of a new great game among nations eager to secure access to these valuable assets. Greenland possesses vast deposits of rare earth elements, essential components in a wide range of modern technologies, from smartphones and electric vehicles to wind turbines and defense systems. Currently, China dominates the global rare earth market, and Greenland's reserves represent a strategic opportunity for Western nations seeking to reduce their dependence on a single supplier. Beyond rare earth elements, Greenland also holds significant reserves of oil, natural gas, iron ore, zinc, and other minerals. Exploiting these resources, however, presents significant challenges. Harsh weather conditions, a lack of infrastructure, and environmental concerns pose obstacles to large-scale extraction. Greenland's government faces a crucial decision: how to balance economic development with environmental protection. Harnessing its natural resources could bring prosperity to the island, but also risks damaging its pristine environment and fragile ecosystems. The outcome of this debate will have far-reaching consequences, not only for Greenland, but also for the global race for resources. Section 7, the Northern Watchtower US military presence in Greenland. Greenland's strategic location in the Arctic has long made it a focal point for military strategists. The island's proximity to North America and its position along potential shipping routes through the Arctic Ocean give it significant geopolitical value. The US, recognizing Greenland's strategic importance, has maintained a military presence there for decades. Thule Air Base, located in northwestern Greenland, is the US Department of Defense's northernmost installation. Established during the Cold War, Thule played a crucial role in monitoring Soviet activity in the Arctic. Today, the base supports missile warning, space surveillance, and satellite command and control operations. The US military presence in Greenland has not been without controversy. Accidents involving nuclear weapons during the Cold War raised concerns about environmental contamination. Furthermore, some Greenlanders view the US military presence as an infringement on their sovereignty and a reminder of their colonial past. As the Arctic becomes increasingly important in a multipolar world, the US military presence in Greenland is likely to remain a point of contention. Balancing security concerns with respect for Greenland's autonomy will require careful diplomacy and a recognition of the island's evolving national identity. Section 8. A crossroads of interests, international players in the Arctic arena. Greenland's geopolitical significance extends beyond its relationship with Denmark and the United States. As the Arctic melts, it has become an arena of increasing competition among global powers, each seeking to secure its interests in the region. Russia, with the longest Arctic coastline of any nation, has been steadily expanding its military presence in the region. It has reopened Cold War-era bases and invested heavily in its northern fleet, aiming to assert its dominance over strategically important shipping routes and resource-rich areas. China, though geographically distant from the Arctic, has declared itself a near-Arctic state and has been actively engaging in scientific research, infrastructure development, and resource extraction in the region. China's growing presence in the Arctic has raised concerns among some Western nations who view it as a potential challenge to the existing balance of power. The European Union, recognizing the Arctic's growing importance, has also sought to enhance its engagement in the region. The EU has focused on promoting sustainable development, environmental protection, and international cooperation in the Arctic, aiming to position itself as a responsible actor in this fragile environment. Greenland, situated at the crossroads of these competing interests, faces the challenge of navigating a complex geopolitical landscape. It must balance its desire for independence and economic development with the need to maintain good relations with its neighbors and avoid becoming entangled in great power rivalries. Section 9. Charting an uncertain course, potential futures for Greenland. As the ice recedes and the world's attention turns northward, Greenland stands at a pivotal moment in its history. The choices it makes in the years to come will determine its destiny and shape the future of the Arctic region. Several potential scenarios lie ahead, each with its own set of opportunities and challenges. One possibility is that Greenland continues on its current trajectory, gradually increasing its autonomy while maintaining close ties with Denmark. This scenario would allow Greenland to benefit from Danish financial support and security guarantees while pursuing its own development priorities. However, it could also lead to frustration among those who desire full independence and chafe under continued Danish influence. Another scenario is that Greenland opts for a more decisive break from Denmark, declaring full independence and assuming control over all aspects of its governance. This path offers the promise of self-determination and the opportunity to chart a truly independent course. However, it also carries risks, as Greenland would need to rapidly develop its own institutions, ensure its security, and find new sources of revenue to replace Danish subsidy. A third possibility is that Greenland's independence movement loses momentum, perhaps due to economic challenges or a lack of consensus on the best way forward. In this scenario, Greenland could remain under Danish rule, albeit with a greater degree of autonomy than it currently enjoys. This outcome would likely satisfy those who prioritize stability and economic security, but could also lead to resentment and a resurgence of independent sentiment in the future. The future of Greenland remains unwritten, but one thing is certain: the island is no longer a remote and insignificant corner of the world. As climate change reshapes the Arctic, Greenland's strategic location, abundant resources and evolving political landscape will continue to capture the attention of the international community. How Greenland navigates these turbulent waters will have profound implications for its own people and for the geopolitical balance of power in the 21st century.